quiz went on for an hour and a half. So I think that was a clincher.
Is it this the desk that used to be in there?
Yeah. Because it's too heavy.
Too heavy that for moving it, yeah.
I'll get into that one now. That
Presidential.
no, it looks very good.
7 minutes past 2.
Tell you what.
Ready?
Timekeeper's immaculate.
Sam, Sunderland haven't won successive Premier League games at home since May 2014. So how important is it to build on some of the recent good performances and some of the good results and make the Stadium of Light a fortress?
Well, I think the hardest thing to do is win home games this season, as the stats are telling us this year. There's more teams won away from home than ever before. So it's much more difficult to win at home than ever in the Premier League this season for whatever reason. And you look at Watford's record away from home, and it just shows you how difficult it's going to be, the task on Saturday, for us to beat them, because I think they've already won 3 games away and drawn 1. They've scored goals. They've got 2 very, very good strikers who are in good form. So we'll have to be in top form, like I said, to try and win this game. And the need for us to win the game to put together a 4 wins in 8 games process, which will give us or reap us 12 points from 8 matches, would be a fantastic start for me and a fantastic achievement for us to get out the trouble that we're in. 15 points after 16 games would have been, or will be, if we can do it, a massive achievement in terms of where we've started from.
Have you been surprised at how quickly Watford have adapted to life in the Premier League?
Good manager by the looks of it, who's organised his players very well, and it's his first time in the Premier League as well, which shows you his qualities. I think that Watford have got continued success on so many rotations of managers. It's nearly impossible to believe that they have, but they have. I think on promotion year they had 4 managers, didn't they? And then the manager who got them promoted didn't even stay, and this new manager's come in and taken the reins up. So they're a particular interesting case to look at, and where everybody would think that many changes would cause a downward spiral rather than upward spiral. It obviously is a great credit, particularly to Flores at the moment, by establishing them pretty well with the team in the Premier League.
Jack Rodwell spent some time last week in Germany to try and iron out some of the niggling injuries that he's had. Is he happy with how that went, and how important is it for him to get a consistent run of games without any of these problems?
I think that Jack Rodwell it's hugely important for his career and the place he's at the moment. Like, I mean, that everybody's saying what's happened to Jack Rodwell, and it's clear that the number of niggling injuries that he suffered over certainly the last 2 years at Manchester City and here has caused him to lose his focus and his confidence, I think. So we've got to rebuild that, and the only way we can really rebuild that is if we can make sure we keep Jack fit and trains every day and plays when selected, and then ultimately finds that confidence again to prove to everybody what a good player he is. I mean, when all said and done, Jack broke on the scene at Everton at 17 years old, playing in the Premier League, which is a rarity today. But since he went to Manchester City and not played as obviously as often as he would have liked, and that was a big move that didn't pay off, and then coming here with the niggly injuries means he has to try and get back to that level as quickly as possible. We're just trying to make sure he stays as fit as possible, and that will hopefully give him the confidence to show us what he can do. He made a big contribution when he came on as sub. He put the great ball through to Patrick Van Aanholt for the equaliser to go 2-2. Unfortunately, Patrick missed it, but that type of ball split Arsenal defence wide open, and that's what we want to see from a Jack Rodwell.
There's transfer speculation virtually every day involving Sunderland at the moment.
What a shock.
How far down the line are you in terms of drawing up a list of targets for January, and will that mean moving players on as well?
We're just finding out whether there are any players available and what the deal is at the minute. and we'll only move on those players once we think there's a deal possible financially. Until then, we will keep as quiet as we possibly can, even though agents may leak all sorts of stuff in the papers. It's only going to be speculation until we actually tell you that we've signed somebody on. The trouble is always with this time of the year, the speculations can cause discontent amongst your players, which is something you have to deal with. If it's not hard enough Christmas anyway, and New Year, the window makes it even harder. We've got 6 games in 24 days, and we've got speculation that we're letting him go and we're bringing him in and all that rubbish, So it's an hard month to deal with, but hopefully we get through it with plenty of results. And players here show me that they don't need replacing with somebody else in January. That would be very nice. Be very nice if I didn't need anybody in January, believe you me, because it's the hardest window to deal with.
Last one from me. Slaven Bilic has told us this morning that they're going to try and fast track their move to the new training ground. He thinks there's a direct correlation between the training ground and the injuries that they've had. Was that an issue for you?
Yes.
You were there?
Yes, he's not wrong. I spent years trying to move West Ham to Rush Green, but unfortunately we didn't couldn't find the finance at the time. We were putting it more into the squad than David Sunderdale wanted to put it into the training ground. I think Slaven's right.
Sam, how galling was it last week to play so well at Arsenal, not got anything, and then found yourselves back in the relegation zone?
Well, it's what happens in we can't expect that we're always going to be let off the hook by the opposition not winning their games. Somewhere along the line, they're going to win football matches. Those teams who are in and around us. It so happened that there were surprise victories by Bournemouth at Chelsea and certainly Newcastle against Liverpool. So, that will happen because the Premier League tells you it will. All the way across the league this year, particularly this year, 1 more away wins than ever before, and 2 more of the small boys upsetting the big boys than ever before as well. So, we've got our targets. So what other people do obviously affects you in terms of your league table position. And at the moment, our points per game says we're a relegation team until we can get points more than games, and then we won't be a relegation team anymore. So if we win on Saturday, we're just 1 point away from the safety zone, which, like I said before, done in the space of 8 games would be pretty miraculous achievement from us and the players and the staff. So we must go all out to try and win that game against Watford, and that will hopefully move us out the bottom 3 again. Because irrespective of what everybody says, players have a look at it, and the pressure's always on when you're in the bottom 3. And to relieve that pressure, you've got to win football matches.
I think everyone looked at this game and said, it's one of the few games the club can win in December, and yet the likes of Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool have been.
Well, we could have beat Arsenal last Saturday if we'd have put our chances away at the right time. If we'd have scored when we were in ascendancy and we created the better chances in Arsenal. When they actually happened, they didn't happen after Arsenal had scored against us. They happened before Arsenal scored against us twice, and we didn't take advantage of them. So we could have created a massive upset last Saturday, but failed to do so. What that does encourage you, if you can do it against Arsenal, make sure you do the same again against Watford, but this time score, put the ball in the back of the net. We've won all of our games by being the first team to score. It's obviously a trend of ours that looks like we have to continue. And hopefully that will be the case against Watford.
Will you have Jermaine Defoe back and Lee Cattermole?
In the squad, yeah. Not Lee Cattermole, not Seb Larson, and Wes Brown. Are you thinking him up now? You're thinking him up now. Come on, you are. You just shut your eyes and went, "What else can I ask him now?"
What must I not forget to ask? I'm sorry, I'll leave Sam and want to ask. BBC Wales were asking about Gary Monk. Surprised, disappointed?
You can never be surprised at what happens in football today. I think that it's a great shame for the relationship Gary has had between Swansea City, the owners, and the football club, and what they've achieved together. As a manager, you would all you know, you'd all hope that people are a little bit more patient, but it's that ultimate ringing in the ears of 120 million, which causes owners to panic that little bit quicker than perhaps they would before, because losing your Premier League status is not the thing to do this season. Somebody's going to have to lose it. You know, somebody's going to have to get relegated. They obviously feel the time is right that Gary should be changed. It's a great shame, considering that last year he got more points than anybody else as the manager of Swansea than any other manager had achieved in the Premier League. And hopefully he will bounce back and be a manager somewhere else, because I think he deserves an opportunity to manage again. But he'll be feeling very down and very upset at this moment in time.
Gus Poyet, is that if he got the job, would that be a good fit?
No idea. It's nothing for me to comment on who should or who shouldn't. That's up to Mr. Jenkins, isn't it?
Sam, I'm just asking, rare in this day and age that a player might come to you and ask for a day off training, but I imagine you were happy enough to let Duncan Watmore do what he needed to do today.
As long as he sends us some pictures of his receiving the award, and with his gown and his what's it called, boater on, is it a cap?
Yeah.
Cap and gown, yeah. I've put those on. I do have a doctorate, you know. So, but I don't call myself Dr. Allardyce. I don't see the need to. But yeah, it's a great achievement for the young man, and hopefully with the time he's got to spare here and there, he'll put that education to good use, like, you know. So if he's ever thinking of going in the stocks and shares market, I hope he gives us a few tips.
First class honours degree. Do you think
In economics,
yeah, does he have the potential to be a first class footballer in your opinion?
it's already shown that he's got the potential. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, sir.